So, welcome to a pretty rare side of my channel. Another upload. Yay. Yeah, I don't know. Upload that often. So, currently I've been fucking with Hyper-V a bit more. So, yeah. I have a small tutorial prepared. So, most of you will probably know what Windows Sandbox is. Hopefully. Hope the fuck there are no Windows 7 watchers on this channel. I will gladly remove myself from this word if it's the case. So basically, for the viewers that actually know what it is, Windows Sandbox is basically just your Windows 11 or Windows 10 or so whatever it is running inside of a virtualized environment. It is fully enclosed on its own. It's like just fully off. And it's not your average Hyper-V virtual machine. It runs on Hyper-V, but it's not. Since if you go here, Task Manager, go to this, you can see it has access to your GPU. You can. It's fully 3D accelerated. You can tell because it has corners right here. Then the Mika effect is also visible. You can see the slight blur here from this background. So yeah. And you can somewhat replicate this on normal Hyper-V with these right here. So this is like split into 3 parts. This is somewhat the steps you need to take before. This is for actually setting up the virtual machine. This is for after setting up the virtual machine. So basically what we're doing is the equivalent of passing a GPU to a virtual machine like you would under Linux and QEMU KVM. Just somewhat like this. This is called GPU partitioning. And yeah, just a small tutorial because I'm not sure if there's any like good tutorials on YouTube. Probably. Just one more is better than one less. So yeah. First off, what you need is, for the prerequisites, like step 0, you need a version of Windows that has Hyper-V. So anything that is Windows 10 or 11 Pro or higher. I haven't tested this on home. You can install Hyper-V on home, but better off using Pro or higher instead of home. In this case, I'm running the latest version as of recording of Windows 11 IoT Enterprise LTSC version 2042, 26.100, 28294 January 2025 security patches. Yeah, just normal LTSC 2024. So then what you also need to do is go to your control panel, go to programs, Windows feature, install, add or remove Windows features, yeah, and check if Hyper-V, virtual machine platform, and Windows hypervisor platform are all free enabled. Sure, you can also, if you're funny, check Windows Sandbox and Subsystem for Linux, but you don't need those. I just have them because I need them. If those 3 are like enabled or not enabled, check them, restart Windows, and then you should have everything like set up on your host computer in the meantime. And what you also need is a Windows ISO. In this case, I'm using a pretty old version of 24H2 in German. It's like custom ISO with custom SKU editions. This was Windows 10. It was Windows 11 Pro, Enterprise, and IoT Enterprise. You know where you get a Windows ISO from. UUP, dumb, Massgrave, whatever the hell. I was just downloading from Microsoft directly. I just have this one, just chilling. Then, what you also need is this PowerShell script I wrote. That just makes it easy. It just to check if your GPU is actually capable of doing this. So what you need to do is go to your start menu, search up PowerShell. I'm going to use PowerShell 7 for this. You don't need to. I can use PowerShell 5, but I'm using 7 because I've installed. Run it as administrator. Go to the desktop and run then what you need to do is run set execution policy. honestly, it's not secure to have this on by enabled. I'm taking a risk with this, so I have it enabled all the time because I run PowerShell scripts that I wrote manually sometimes. So just run this and click yes. So it's disabled, so I can actually run unsigned PowerShell scripts. And you can just run check that check partitioning support appears one. If it displays this, you will have the option to use GPU partitioning. If it shows nothing, or just this alone, or just nothing, because this is only for Windows 11 24H2, because there's a different PowerShell command that you need to run for this, like this, because we want this partitioning GPU. It does the same thing, but without this. If it shows nothing and just says press enter to continue, then you unfortunately cannot do this. You need to have this in here. If it shows something, if it shows it, you're fine. Just press enter and exit. Then you're fine. So what you now have to do is open your Hyper-V Virtual Manager, like just this command prompt. You just MMC snap-in, search it, or open MMC or edit to MMC applet. Then make a new virtual machine. Just go to new, and the thing that shows your username, your PC host name. Click new virtual computer. Click next, or just disable this. Then give it a name. Let's go with the default name for this. Click next. Check it's Gen 2, not Gen 1, Gen 2, because it's UEFI. You need UEFI for this. Give it your RAM. I have 64 gigabytes of RAM, so I can comfortably run this with 16 gigabytes of RAM. Uncheck dynamic RAM, because this causes some fucking weird ass issues. Give it internet if you want to. I'm just gonna leave it without internet for now. Create a virtual hard drive. 128 gigs fine. Then give it your Windows ISO. Click next, click finish. I'm gonna create a new one because I have one already set up. So then what you also need to do for Windows 11 specifically, at least, go to the settings after you created it, go to security, check trusted platform module. Yeah, it's Windows 11, you need the TPM unless it won't install properly. Unless you're using some weird ass stripped ISO that has these checks removed. Just enable by default. And what you also probably is good to have is check guest services under integration services and disable checkpoints. Yeah, the checkpoints can break some stuff, and this just need to have enabled. Don't know what it does, but it's good to have enabled. Then you can just boot up the virtual machine, go connect and click start, and then run through your Windows installation like normal. I already have it set up, so you can just power up this virtual machine right here. And have a clean Windows 11 Windows 11 install ready to go. Yeah, so in this step you just install Windows normally. Let's just say I installed Windows right now. Just, yeah. Ich schneide den Teil raus. Gott, braucht das Ding 5 Stunden zum Laden. Wieso braucht das Ding jetzt 3 Stunden zum Laden? Oder? So yeah, if this pops up, just press X on it. You don't need the RDP session on right now. Just leave it. That's interesting. Why is the background black? No. So let's just pretend I fresh installed Windows right now and I'm signing into it right now. So God, why is this so slow? Is this on my hard drive or what? I think it's slower than a fucking hard drive. Okay, there you go. So yeah, as it's just a normal Windows 11. So what you right now is what you probably need. You don't need like a whole lot right now. At least right now, it's just fine. It's just no install. Make sure that it's not connected to the RDP enhanced session, and so just use a normal session because the enhanced session is slightly broken. Is not ideal for this. So yeah, you just have normal Windows 11 with all of its beautiful bloat names, and Copilot, and the family. Yeah, it's probably why it's so slow. Yeah, if it's fully installed, just shut down the virtual machine. I'm just gonna power off from up here. Not probably showing that. Then you can just close this, minimize this, or just put it away. We're gonna move to the second step. Again, this is all in the description. You need to first off open this easy GPU pass-through thing. This is from GitHub. If the original GitHub linked in the description from this, because the one that I'm gonna provide is a modified script because the script is slightly broken. So you have this here. Make sure all of the files are here because you really need these. Then you're gonna go back to your PowerShell window. Then cd into that path. Yeah, I'm not saying a thing. Gonna clear the window real quick. And then you're gonna check what VM name this is. In this case, it's Windows 11 GPU. Remember this because you will need this 2 times. Then you will need to run this update VM partition driver thing. Just run the script. I have it already in my autocomplete, but you will just write -VM name, then in quotations your VM name. In this case, Windows 11 GPU, and then -GPU name auto. You can just use your GPU name, like device name. So in theory, mine would be NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. But as I think you'd only need this for dual GPU systems, which I do not have, so I can just use auto. I'm going to use auto instead. And then I'm just gonna let this run. It will mount the drive. And now this has this press enter to continue here. I added this in manually because this part is broken a bit in Windows 11 24H2. It will not properly give the drive, the partition, like the actual VM drive is mounted, but it does not have a proper drive letter. For some reason, the script fails to give it a proper drive letter, so I edited in this press enter to continue. So it will pause right here, so it doesn't cause errors. So what you would do is go to your start menu, search for either computer management, or just go right click the X menu and go to computer management. Go to drive partition, or the drive partition tool. You can see these blue drives right here. Those are the virtual hard disk drives. What you want to do is click on the biggest one, this one. In this case, it's 126.4 gigabytes and it's BitLocker encrypted. So yeah, this one, right click, change drive letter, add the drive letter, and add it to X. If you have something mounted to X, go into the script and change the drive header from X to whatever. But I've set to X, so I mounted to X. Click OK, and you can see it mounted successfully since it shows a autoplay pop-up with the drive letter. Then, if it shows this, press enter and just let the script run. And we'll copy the drivers from my host computer to the VM. And then after a while, you should unmount the drive and it's gonna be done. This takes usually a bit. Reason why we have to use this script, because it's unlike unlike QEMU KVM on the Linux, where you can just normally install the GPU drivers from like you just download the setup file from NVIDIA's website or AMD's website or Intel's website or what GPU type you have. Past even a fucking old as hell card from like back then, like a S3 or whatever. You have to do this because it will copy the drivers from your host computer. So it will, in my case, it will use the drivers from version 5.6.6.36 from NVIDIA, the game ready version for my GPU. But it might use the Intel ones, might use the AMD ones, depends on what GPU you have. I'm just showing this with an NVIDIA card. And if it says done, it's fine. Then what you need to do is run the other, go to this script, this configure partitioning.ps1, right click it, and either click edit to open it in PowerShell ISE if you have that installed, or edit it, or just open it with in Notepad, or in this case Notepad++. Open it, and if needed, change this to your VM's name. In this case it's Win11 GPU, so it's fine. You can even use the same name if you want to. I don't care. And then you just close this again, go to the desktop, and run this. If it shows nothing, it's fine. So, and now you want to go back to the virtual machine and power it on, and back into Windows, just normally. Just let it wait. So you would be able to tell instantly by, if it worked, by seeing that the taskbar is the normal like acrylic mica effect, and if I open Windows, the corners would be round. But for some reason it didn't work properly. It's really iffy. So I'm just gonna use a different virtual machine for this. I have that set up already. Steps are the same for this, but I'm just gonna use a pre-cooked virtual machine that I have, because yeah, where it's all like set up and everything. No, actually I'm gonna use the Windows 10 one, because it has some demo stuff installed, like games, which I couldn't technically like show. And yes, Windows 10 will work with this, since in every version of Windows will work, like any version of Windows 10 and Windows 11 will work. For Windows 10 you have to run 1703 or 1709 or higher, because anything older does not support the, because the driver model is different. They use DCH drivers instead of WDDM drivers. So the DCH drivers are not properly compatible with older versions of anything older than 1609 or 1607, so you have to use 1703 or higher, since that's the first version of Windows that properly adds DCH support. With at least NVIDIA. I haven't tested AMD or Intel, but for NVIDIA it works with 1703 or higher. So if you have this, just pretend it's the same VM. If you boot up into Windows, it's fully installed. Just go to your runbox, WinR, or just search on the thing, and run dx-diag. Then boot it up. We'll take a bit because dx-diag always takes a bit. And check if there's a playback tab. And if you go to the playback tab, it will show you the name of your GPU. In this case, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. And you can tell DirectX features and all of the DirectX 3D stuff is enabled. So yeah, it's set up. And you can also check in Task Manager and go to Performance if it has a GPU tab on Windows 11. And Windows 10 doesn't have it. So yeah, that's basically what the base thing what you have to do to get GPU acceleration working. So I can quickly show you or show it what I mean with this. So I have a couple of games installed. For example, can boot up Minecraft right here, the Bedrock edition. You can tell it launches just fine. It works as Minecraft should. I'm gonna load this random world up that one of my friends made on his virtual machine, because this is set up to link with Parsec, so you can just do shit with it together. And you can tell, of course, this mouse input is fucky right now because this is just normal, because it happens on VMware too, with how VM software usually like handles mouse input pass-through. Minecraft doesn't really like the mouse movements, and that's why it's so jerky. But you can tell it runs like perfectly fine. Like it doesn't stutter. It runs like smooth, even on default settings, unlike VMware. And if at the beta version, you can tell what GPU it would tell what GPU it would use. So yeah, and then I can go out of Minecraft again. Can try a different game. See what I installed. Yeah, let's try SimCity 2013. Yeah, you can tell it also starts just fine, no errors with no 3D acceleration. This game takes a bit a while to load, so yeah. You can tell, yeah, it works just fine and runs fine too. I can go into a city if I want. I don't even have a save on this. I'm not even create a save, but you can tell if I go here, it's running on native resolution of the virtual machine on all ultra settings, and it runs about like 40-ish FPS. I checked, which is fine for a virtual machine. So yeah, get out of this again. So this is basically what you need to do, but there's a couple of extra steps that you can take to get a better experience. As by default, there is no audio output in this, so you do not have any audio because it's using the normal in the normal session, and the normal session doesn't produce doesn't output audio properly. Only the enhanced session outputs audio because it uses remote desktop to connect. And this is like the native output. What you can do is like, again, install Parsec and use that, but I personally prefer using the normal VM Connect window. So what you can do is download VB cable, this driver, and this installer for Sonobus. Install it into the virtual machine. I already did this here, so don't have to do this. And open Sonobus and check the VB output cable is this. Then open this Sonobus, then go to this drop down, select stereo, so it's not mono mode. Click here, disable the output, set the input to the output to the output, and change the device type to Windows Audio Low Latency. And then click connect. Just give the group a name, a password, and your name. Click connect. And now, if you have done the same on your host computer, then you can just check if audio works. So again, we're gonna boot up SimC 2013 because I know because I know that actually pops as like an audio thing, like plays audio on the start screen to see if audio works properly. It doesn't play audio. Yeah, sure. Let's just boot the game up again. Yeah, you can tell and see from the start screen if I go back. You can tell the audio is playing the background from the home screen. Yeah. And the music kicks in. Nice music. Then I'm gonna go out of this again. Give it time. Moment. All the 8 games moment. So yeah, that's how I would basically get audio working. And then what you also probably want to do is probably set up a proper network share on your computer, because you cannot even paste files between this computer or paste anything. Copy paste files doesn't work, and copy paste from the clipboard doesn't work. So it's basically like fully a thing. So to make that happen, just make a new folder anywhere on your computer. I'm doing this for demo purposes on a desktop. Give it a name. Right click on it. Properties. Sharing. Click advanced sharing right here. Check this box. Give it a name. Just gonna give it a name. Share. Go to permissions. It's the only thing that shows is everyone. Click this and check full access. OK. Click save. Exit. And then you can do is you can tell is that it says a network path here, which consists of your host name. In this case, is this, and then the /share. Then you can go back to the VM, go into the File Explorer, go into this PC, click network, go into the, depends on what version of Windows. You can either right click add network, place here, or go into whatever menu bar or the ribbon interface on Windows 11, click add network drive, choose a drive letter, normal one should work, and then you just go // host name, then the share name, then it, in this case, because I saved my credentials, it just pops up. It will show a pop-up for signing into your computer. Just put your username, or if you have a Microsoft account linked to your PC for some reason, use the Microsoft account email address and the password to the account or Microsoft account. No pins, no passwords, just no pins, no whatever, just the password. And then yeah, you will have a blank folder showing in your network drive and the network places. And now you can just, since you gave everyone right permissions, you can just create a file here, just edit, save it. And if I go back to the same folder, you can see this text document is here. If I open it, it has a text in it. Yeah, that's just if you want to share files. So yeah, this is somewhat a quick and easy thing, or a tutorial of some sorts, pretty scuffed, to get some kind of a better setup than VMware and VBox has. I personally switched to Hyper-V full-time after I found out you can do this, because it's just 100 times better, because you get the performance of a near host computer, like near bare metal performance, since Hyper-V is a Type 1 hypervisor and VMware and VBox are Type 2. So basically the difference is Type 1 is near to the hardware, and Type 2 has to go through the operating system first to access the hardware. So Type 2 is usually slower than Type 1 and less secure. So I'm not sure if the secure part, but it's usually just a bit slower. This is like almost bare metal performance, even in graphics performance, in general performance too. So just infinitely better. And it's just more flexible, to be honest. So yeah, you basically just made yourself a gaming VM. So you can just do whatever you want. You can play games. You can just watch YouTube with full acceleration. You can run 3D applications. You can run Blender if you want to or need to for some reason. So yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. And yeah, see if it how long it takes for this video for the next video to show up on this channel. I hope to hell it's not like 7 months or 6 or 5. I'm not sure. Or a lot of months that passed till now. So bye.